Good afternoon, everyone. This is the next episode with Pomo
Cousin Pomo. This
from
is
Big Island.
Episode.
That's 12?
Episode 13. 13.
1, 3, 13. We're going to be talking to Leilani, our Big Island sister.
Big Island cuz. Big Island cuz.
So we met her through Instagram. And we actually finally met in person last year when I was pregnant. Here
Boom.
she is.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, go. Go in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pomo.
Push the icon. Push the icon. There we go.
Oh my gosh, here we are.
Hi,
So good to see you. Wow, look at your background.
I know. I was like, I gotta be a little bit fancy. I don't know. I'm not good with doing things plain.
You are in a store,
Hi.
Your home store.
No, that's the plan. In the closet, we're gonna make. I wanted to do like a pegboard wall, so we can make like a behind these walls. I have a closet. I want to turn it into a store. I know. I'm so excited. I'm really grateful. My husband's been stepping up and helping me with the business, and because I have so many big plans and I just can't do it by myself. So he's been doing a great job.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Serious, but it's so good to see you guys.
I know.
It's been a long time. Where's Gracie?
Oh, she's here.
She's cruising.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome.
So this is Leilani, everyone.
Yeah. Hi. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, we would like you. Well, it's okay.
Oh.
You can introduce yourself to everybody who doesn't know you.
So let me just slide this over real quick. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, cousin. Give them an intro to who you are.
Yes. Okay. So aloha, everybody. My name is Leilani Andrade. I live on the Big Island in Hawaii in Hilo. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I have a husband who's wonderful. His name is Kelson. So here's my boys right here on this picture.
Oh, so just a slideshow.
Yeah, I was supposed to have a fancy one, but mom life. I can't really get anything done that you want to get done. But yeah, so I'm a graphic designer, and I own a clothing brand, a Hawaiian Christian clothing brand, and a freelance design company. I used to do a lot of service before Corona started. I used to help a lot at the church. I just did their logo and stuff, and so yeah, I don't know. Corona's been kind of hard on me. It's been really a blessing and hard at the same time, because when it all started, I was in Washington, D.C., if you guys remember, literally the day that the president announced the pandemic, and they canceled our film competition that our students were supposed to do that day. And so it was just a big cluster.
Yeah, that's right. You were
one
almost
thing
stopped.
after another. Yeah. And so before I left, I was ready for Mary Monarch, because as soon as I came back, I was supposed to be prepping and getting ready for it. And so once I got back, I was like, now what? I don't get my deposit back from Mary Monarch. I don't, because they saved it for Christmas. And then I don't know, it was just really hard on me, because I was just so ready for craft fairs this year, and instead of focusing on my online efforts. So since then, I've been kind of off and on, I guess. Mentally, I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore, and I just have been battling. I'm sure a lot of other people though have been battling mentally too. Like it's been super tough lately. Like how have you guys been?
We've been. I think I always tell people this. I think if it wasn't for just having a baby, a newborn, we would be so much more affected, like mentally, like everything,
Yeah,
like everyone else. But
I
I feel
know.
like
I
this
just
year
have
has
the
just been
newborn
so
stage.
exciting for us and
I know.
so
Because you
new
get to
and
stay home too and all that. It's so nice.
yeah. So
I'm
this
glad
year's
you guys
been
get to
really
see all the milestones. It's the best part.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we always say, compared to a lot of other people, we've just been living in like a big bursting bubble of joy with
Well,
Christy.
I'm so glad. That is such a blessing. You guys
But
are
I
such
totally
servants,
understand
but you
what you're
deserve
saying,
it.
you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like, I know I've heard from multiple people that they've been stuck in ruts. And I mean, mentally, sometimes, thinking about what we want to do, like, we were going to go see you guys, go to
I
Hawaii,
know.
go to all this
I
stuff, and we're like,
know.
bummed when we think about it. We're like, we didn't get to take that trip or this trip, but we know
Yeah.
it's for the better, that we stay
Safety for
safe.
everyone and all of
Exactly.
that. Well, I'm so glad for that, you guys. That's so great.
I know. Oh my gosh, your family's beautiful.
Oh, thank
So,
you. I appreciate it. That was a fun day. It was like that place where we took the picture. It's normally like not flooded, so it was flooded, and we're like, "Hey, let's go take a picture on that log," and it turned out cute. But
oh,
so here's some other stuff that we do. Like this was our last like not like a craft fair, but this was the last concert we did in February. So that was super fun. Here, wait, I should bring you guys closer. You can't even see.
that's cool.
Yeah, so all of these pictures are on my IG, but so this was like one of our very first stuff that we did for Christmas when we first started the business. Like it was just really hard for me because I was pregnant when I first started. And then we did the Big Island Strong shirt for when we had the lava thing over here. Remember when the volcano was going off? So we raised like $3,000 selling t-shirts. So that was really cool. I was really proud of myself because something that I feel like has been hard on me is I have like a heart for to serve and service, but being a stay-at-home mom or a work-from-home mom, I feel like I'm not able to help. I feel like stuck at home. I'm like, I can't go out. I can't go serve the homeless. I can't go, donate food. I can't do all of this, but sometimes I have to slow down and remind myself, like, look at what you have done from the comfort of your home with your kids hanging off of you. Like, you have done so much. And that's just something that I have to remind myself, and I have to tell other stay-at-home moms. It's like, you can do so much and you can serve the world from home. Like, I raised $3,000 to help Puna during the disaster. And another thing that I have pictures of. I've never ever shared these pictures, you guys. So this was something that was on my heart. So when 2 years ago during Christmas, it was a really crazy story. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I have this friend that I grew up with in school. Her name is Pele Buika, and she was in Nepal or Kathmandu for a mission trip. And she had reached out to Pomaika I Au, not even knowing it was me. And she was all like, "Oh, hey, like, I'm on a mission. We're at a slum school in Kathmandu, like outside of Kathmandu. Do you guys think you could like donate some money for a new carpet? Like the carpet here like looks like dirt. The kids are sitting on it. It's bad shape." And I was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, like that craft fair that I just showed. I was like, oh, hey, definitely, if I make like $1,000, maybe I'll like donate $100, $200." And so we ended up doing it and making the money, and we donated it to them. And one day I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw their mission leader out there. Samir had posted a picture of him working out with the kids, doing push-ups with them on his back. And I had looked at the carpet and I was like, it's a new carpet. I wish I had that picture, but it was on my old phone that broke. And my heart, like, I was just like, they're on the other side of the world. And I just was able to like bless them, and you saw like their faces, and they were all so happy, like on the floor, like working out because it was clean. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to do more for them. So I ended up raising a little bit more money with an angel tree, and so that's where these pictures are from. So it was like
Wow.
something I never wanted to share with anybody for some reason. I just kind of wanted to do it out of the goodness of to help. So that's why I felt like it wasn't something I should share, but I'm going to share it now because oh
Oh,
my
that's
gosh,
so
did these
precious.
pictures
Wow.
spark so much joy. So they were
That is
able to
amazing.
buy like extra gifts for the kids and like fun a great day for them. It was so awesome. And my
That's so
computer is so
cool. Oh my
slow, but
word. That's
goodness.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
like
such a blessing, you know,
it
to
is like
them.
to know that I was able to help people like totally across the
Yeah.
world that I don't even know that I might not ever meet. Like it was just
Right.
crazy to see these pictures.
Wow. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's been a long time
God.
since I actually saw this. Here's all the kids and stuff helping. But it
That's
was
incredible.
amazing to just
Oh
know
my
that you can be
gosh.
part of something bigger than yourself, even with the minimal effort that it took.
Oh, amen. Amen. God can use like anything. To us, we made like,
Serious.
what did the disciples say? We only have 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but yet he fed thousands.
Oh, here he is. This is Samir. So this is the guy who helps with the slum
Oh,
school out there.
oh wow. I'm so glad
Yeah.
you did that.
Yeah, and I think they have like a women's ministry out there too that I really would like to eventually link up with to have them make
Course.
product or something like that in the
Yeah.
future. But it's crazy. I always tell myself I'm like I'm not doing enough. I can't do this by myself and it's I'm bigger. It's bigger than I think.
Bigger than
So like there was this one time we have a small Japanese church that we go to. It's Kinoole Baptist Church, and there was this one time my pastor introduced me to one of the guys that was back from college, and this was the first time, sis, that anybody has ever fangirled over me. I was like, what is going on right now? Like this kid was like, oh my god, you're Pomaika I Au. I was like, oh my god, have you heard about us? Because I'm like a stay-at-home mom. I don't know if anybody knows who we are, you know? So like he was like, oh
I'm
my
sure
gosh,
you
you
get
have
it
no
more. I'm
idea
sure you get
how
it way more.
he's like, you have no idea how many people you have reached. I was like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? He's like, my auntie sent me a bunch of your stuff for Christmas last year, and he's part of a club at school where they go to different national or different reservations out there, and they go to talk with Native American kids and stuff like that. And so he's like, yeah, I passed out your stickers to all of these Native American kids, and like, you know, I gave them Jesus with your bread. And I was like,
That's amazing.
dude, that's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, question for you. When did you start your company and what was it that like inspired you or encouraged you to start it?
Oh goodness, this is such a wonderful story. So my son is now 4 years old, my eldest son, but 3 years ago, I started this business because when I was 6 months pregnant with him, I almost died of sepsis. So I was in ICU and I was dying. Like I guess it started from an undetected kidney stone because I used to work at Office Max Print Center before, and I didn't drink much water because we were always helping customers and it was hard to sit down. And so I think it just kind of resulted from that and me not taking care of myself and the stress and stuff. And so it was on my birthday, my 20th birthday. I was sick. I had 103-degree fever. I went to the hospital. They sent me home the next day. Like it was crowded. They had me in a chair all night. They didn't even have me in a bed. They had me chair strapped up on the baby monitor. And literally every hour, I was like, I have to pee. It hurts. And they were telling me, oh, well, you don't have a UTI. And I'm like, are you sure? Like it hurts. And they kept telling me, you don't have a UTI. We've tested you, this and that. And I was like, whatever. So they sent me home, never told me why I had a fever. And then on Christmas Eve, I was working at Office Max Print Center that evening. And lucky thing, we got off early that night. But our tradition with my husband's family is on Christmas Eve, we go there and we open presents. So after work, we were at his parents' house. And I was like, all day I was sore, like on my side. Like I was sitting on the printers like this, like freaking, I want to go home.
Yeah.
But I was like laying on the couch, writing in pain, holding my side, and my father-in-law, he was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in? And I was like, 7. And he's like, boy, take her hospital, you know, like that's kind of high. And so he took me to the hospital that night. And then the nurse sent me home and told me it was growing pains. And so we're like, okay, so we can't do anything about this pain. And next
Growing
morning I woke up.
pains.
I know. I was like, next morning I
That's
woke up.
lame.
I know, growing pains. I was like, really? You just wanted to get me out of there now.
Yeah. Okay.
But next morning I had 103-degree fever again, and it took me a while to like man up and be like, fine, you know, like go to the hospital even if they're gonna send me home again. And so we went, and I called my OB, but he was on vacation. Normally he sends me straight to the labor and delivery room every time I had a problem. But this time he was off, and so there was another OB who told me to go to the ER instead. So down at the ER, they ended up doing like a catheter UTI test instead, and then that's how they were able to track, like, really catch the test or get a positive test or whatever on what was wrong with me. So it ended up, they said, I was like, okay, so you have a kidney infection, and so we'll just send you up to labor and delivery, give you some antibiotics, and you should be good to go, right? And so they did that, and for like the first 3 days, I was just getting really like worse and worse and worse. And then on the fourth day, I just remember I couldn't feel anything. Like I literally, like my body was super hot. I just felt the heat, and then I couldn't move. I couldn't really talk. I could whisper. And so it was, normally they don't like let people stay, yeah, but they let Kelson stay that night. And so I remember just whispering to him. I was like, push the nurse button. And he was like, you know, like, okay. And so he pushes the nurse button, and she comes in and she's checking my vitals or whatever. And I was like, then she starts panicking. She's like, oh my gosh, you're like at 104 degrees. We've given you 4 different antibiotics, but you're getting worse. And so she ran outside, and I don't know, you press the button thingy. Probably, I don't know where you guys press the button thingy. But then like all these alarms start going off, and I'm like laying in my bed, barely knowing what's going on. And you start hearing like the ICU sirens go off, and like 10 doctors come into like a tiny little room. They shove Kelson into the corner. They're like doing all those x-rays and you know, like checking everything. And I felt so bad for Kelson because the whole time I was in the hospital, I was like humming, and I was like ditzy, kind of like, that's like the thing. My husband's always like, you're so ditzy, but that's me. But I was humming, and my nurses were like, wow, you're like the happiest patient we've come across. And but the whole time I was like, I'm fine. Like, you know, I have so much faith. God's not gonna let me go anywhere. Like, I'm not done here yet. Like, they'll take care of me, right? And my poor husband, he was my boyfriend still at the time, all in the, like shoved in the corner by all these doctors, crying because he thinks he's gonna lose his girlfriend and his son. Like that is actually the moment I think that brought him to Christ, was this situation. Because after that, they brought me up to ICU, and they ended up doing an emergency CAT scan because that's what they were avoiding the whole time because I was pregnant. And that's when they found out I had a kidney stone stuck in my urinary tract, preventing the infection from draining out or whatever. And so it was just like a plug, and I became septic from everything just kind of staying in there. And I was super like bloated. I'll have a picture actually.
Yeah.
But it was just really a crazy time, because when I was in ICU, my husband had a talk with me, and he was telling me, like, he's like, I don't want to lose you, like, you're gonna, like my son is dying, like, you're dying. And I was telling him, I'm not dying, like, we're here, I'm here, there's nothing wrong. And it's like, I had to give my husband faith when I was the one on the hospital bed. You know, it was like a really interesting situation where my faith spilled over into his cup. And I didn't know this until recently, but he told me that night, after the surgeon had talked to him about the procedure that she was gonna do and all that, he had gone home. And it's really crazy, like, I forget about this. I bought him a Bible that said Andrade Family Bible. It was like one of those really nice ones with the leather cover. And I bought it for him that Christmas. It was like our first family Bible. And so that night, while I was in the hospital, he went home. He said he was in the bathroom, and he opened it up, and he had read, I think he had read something about the Garden of Gethsemane, like, you know, not my will but yours be done, and all of that. So like that really had hit hard for him, and had given him like the strength and the faith to be there for me during that. And so like after that, he came back, and everything looked good. Like my surgery looked good, and I looked like every single day I was getting better. And literally on the third day, my ICU doctor came down and to my room, and he looked at me. He was like, "Whoa, like you look way better than the last time I saw you. Like normally people don't recover as quickly as you did." And I'm like, God is good. So that entire situation is what led me. Like I told my husband, I was like, okay, I'm a graphic designer. I'm gonna have a brand, okay? Like you're not getting out of this. But it was that situation that led me to want to dedicate it to God. And so in high school, when I was a junior, I made this logo for my youth group. We had these Hana rallies on Maui, where we'd go to the other side, and all the Catholic churches would go and have a youth rally. And so I designed a shirt with a kalo, and in the middle of the kalo had the cross, like a silhouette of the cross. And so when I was ready to start this business, because I wanted to figure out a way to stay home with the baby, because he ended up, being a totally healthy kid and all that, like, I told myself, I asked my youth leader, I was like, okay, is it okay if I redesign this and make it my logo? And she's like, okay, yeah. So I redesigned it, and it is for what it is today. So if you see, like right there, that's my logo, right? The kalo cross with Jesus in the middle. And so when I first showed my husband and his family, they freaked out. They were like, Jesus is on the cross. I was like, yeah, Jesus is on the cross. And they're like, that's kind of like a gory message. And I'm like, it is, but that's why I'm here. Like, I felt like it's the reason of him sacrificing himself that we're able to be here and love and serve. And that's the message that I kind of want to put out into the world, like, how do we serve and grow and love Jesus island style? Because it wasn't much until just recently, like with Aka guys, Jared them, and J3XBI. Like, I love them all, and I like my friends or my family, they're like, oh, aren't they like competition? I'm like, bruh, there's so much space for everybody. Like, I'm not one of those people that are very competitive. I hate competition. That's why I'm not good at sports. That's why I paddled. And then I sailed after, because I hated fighting for my seat or fighting for, like, I'll just go sail. I'll enjoy it. It'll be fun.
I'll just sail. Yeah.
Yeah, teamwork. It's better. You survive on each other.
Right.
But yeah,
wow.
So
okay.
It's
like
just
a near-death experience.
Oh yeah, like I forget all of that a lot of the time, and especially this last year and a half, like people have noticed I've been super quiet on Pomaika I Au, because I had another baby, and that was like when we first started, I was literally running it and growing it and doing literally everything by myself while pregnant. And then after I had the baby, like I never stopped. Like I was having meetings with like a politician at the time, like 2 weeks after I gave birth, to do like her campaign, and like I was doing client after client, bringing my kids with me to Starbucks, them running around, them crying. One time I locked my keys in my car, and thank God one of my friends was my client's friend, and I sent him to my house to get my keys.
To get your other spare. Oh.
Yeah, like it just became such a hassle for me to take them around and to be printing with them around, and I just mentally I felt like I broke. And then eventually that led to the whole self-doubt, and you're not good enough as a mom or as a wife, I want to die, and like all those kinds of things. And I've slowly been pulling myself out of that mental state, which has been really tough. But the thing that I want to make sure that everybody realizes, especially right now in such a high time of mental illness, or people not feeling the way that they normally do, like, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the people around you. Like, even though you think that they don't love you, they do love you, and it's literally your mind is playing tricks on you. The devil is attacking you. There are demons, that are attached to families for generations, and there's things that you yourself are gonna have to come across and break that cycle. Is what it is. And so my family has a long history of mental illness, and I feel like in my life it's something that I want to be the one to break the cycle, and I feel like I've been doing a super good job of it. And yeah, like I've been nicer to the kids lately. You
Yeah.
know, it's just something like all around. You'll notice that once you start taking care of yourself, and then like your spiritual journey and all of that, I feel like it's a domino effect of goodness and of blessings, and that's just something that I want to share with the world. And so I told Kelson, I was like, I don't want to continue holding myself back anymore, because I know I'm so talented and all of that, like with my designs. It's just me telling myself that I can't do it when I can. And so yeah, like I've been doing way better lately. I've been designing more. My kids have been happier. I've been playing with them. I literally was crying almost every single day last year. So for me to be like even here with you guys right now is a big deal for me. So yeah,
My
oh Gracie.
goodness.
That's good. Go back to one thing. So, mental illness and COVID-19 kind of go hand in hand.
Oh,
For the people that are
serious though.
watching, what advice can you give them to combat anything they're going through with COVID-19 and mental illness?
So the advice that I would give you guys is it's really crazy. So what I've been telling people about COVID-19, I'm like, with this isolation thing, it's kind of like being a stay-at-home mom. Like, not, I wasn't going out, I didn't like go and do chores, I didn't see people, I didn't talk to anybody but babies all day. Like,
That's it.
I was going crazy. And so what I have found that has been super helpful is literally get dressed every day, do your makeup, do your hair, pretend you're gonna go out even if you're not gonna go out. That's what I started doing. So that's why if you guys notice, like I'm wearing makeup a lot more lately. I've been caring more about what goes into my body, what goes on my body. And then on top of that, I was actually avoiding the word quite a lot last year. But as COVID started and I noticed that people were starting to get into the same mindset as me, like I was like, I don't want people to start going down that road. So, stay in the word and just force yourself. Like every day, I don't even want to. Like I feel like I'm not worthy and all of that. So, oh goodness, yeah, I don't know. It's just so hard because I'm still kind of fighting it, and I still need advice for myself. Like it
Yeah.
literally is about waking up in the morning and not letting yourself stay where you are. Like I would just wake up and I'd stay in bed all day and I'd cry because I feel like I don't see anybody. Nobody cares about me, when it's true. People do care about you, and you just literally need to reach out and connect with people. Like the fact that you guys reached out to me has been nice. Like reach out to the people that are closest with you. Start hanging out with them on FaceTimes. Like that has been a huge difference for me. Is I actually started to talk to my friends again. I stopped talking to my friends because of the isolation. I felt like they were too busy in their lives to care for me, but that isn't true. So like literally reach out. That is the most important thing. Like they keep talking about having therapists, like online therapists, if you guys have noticed, like there's more ads for all the those texting kind. And I feel like it would just be best to reach out to your local church, to the people that you surround yourself in love. And that's the most advice I feel like I could give people, because that's what's been working for me. Because I didn't see people for like years. I felt like I'd go out for chores like once a month or something, and it's kind of like how everybody is living now. So reach out to your local moms, you guys, your stay-at-home moms. They have great advice. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Thank you for that. I'm sure there's so many people that needed to hear that, especially during this
Yeah,
time.
like there's so much stigma around mental illness. Like it's like, oh, if you feel like you're bipolar or you have anxiety, like they're like, oh, you can't be a Christian, if you're feeling that way. Like how can you show people love? But I'm like, but if I didn't have Christ, how can I get out of that? Like there's so
Oh,
many days where I walked around one night where this is kind of embarrassing, but it wasn't at the time. Like it was kind of scary, and that's what led me to going to the doctor, to my OB, and telling her that I needed help in December, because I was crying every day. And then one
oh,
day I was walking around my neighborhood at like midnight for 3 hours in the drenching rain, telling myself to go walk in the middle of the highway. Like I know that there are demons that are attacking you, and in your mind there is a battle. That's where the battle is. It's not here in this physical world. Literally everybody is fighting the battle in their minds. And and that was just one of those days that I had to fight that battle. I had to cling to Christ in that time and tell myself, you are worthy. Don't listen to those lies. It's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. Just know that it's not over, that God has something greater for you, that the situations or the circumstances that you're in right now, it's just like the storm, like this storm that was supposed to hit Hawaii, and thank God it wasn't, direct hit. It didn't really, come. It went up a little bit more. So,
Oh, thank God.
just weather out the storm, because there's far greater blessings after the storm that you're gonna miss out on if you give up. And so that's something that I feel like everybody needs to know, is they're not alone, and that God is with them, even in the middle of that battle in their minds, when they're like, I don't want to be here. I don't think that I'm worthy enough to be here. I've done so much wrong, or I've not done enough right, or it's just something that people need to stop not talking about, or stop making fun of people or making them feel like they're crazy, because they're not. They just need love, and they need Christ's love. And that's where our job comes in, as servants and brothers and sisters. We all struggle through these mental thoughts, whether we show it or not. And to be there, that stronghold for somebody, that is like the ultimate love. That's like Jesus sacrificing himself. You're sacrificing your time, and you're giving your love and pouring out your cup in order to fill somebody else's. And that's just really amazing, and something that I've noticed. Like, I posted some stuff when I was going a little bit crazy, and the amount of messages that I got, I never replied to them, but I got like 30-ish or more messages of people telling me, like, hey, like, long paragraphs, you are worthy, you're amazing, like, you're doing so much as a mom, and all of that. And I'm like, wow, like, look how many people that I don't talk to just reached out to me because I wanted to kill myself. It wasn't like the fact that I wanted to kill myself. It was just me literally screaming out and telling everybody, like, I am not perfect. I own a Christian brand, and I still have struggles the same way that you guys do. And I don't want to hide that. I want to be transparent and let you guys know that this life is hard. But the fact that so many people flooded in, like, as long as you ask for help and you reach out, like, I was embarrassed to do those things. But the reaction that I got out of people really helped, I felt, to heal me in the long run, because I still read those messages every now and again when I'm not feeling the greatest. So yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been an emotional roller coaster.
Well, I'm so glad that you said something, and you reached out, well, at least said it.
Yeah, yeah.
And people could know, because you're right, a lot of people don't know when their friend or their family member is struggling.
Yeah.
But you're right, like,
yeah.
you should always be reaching out to your loved ones, checking in on them, especially during crisis.
Oh my gosh, for real. Like, I've been talking to one of my really close friends from high school almost every day now, and something like that has not only helped me, but it's helped her immensely too, to just have somebody there for you to talk things out with, to sort through your thoughts and give you that encouragement that you need just to get through that day. Like, I have my husband, and he's great, but he's a male. He doesn't think the same as a woman. So that's why it's like, even though, you love your spouse and stuff, I need to tell myself and others, like, it's okay to have friends. That's something that I felt like after, like, because I'm so young, like, I'm only 24, and I got married when I was 20. So, like,
You're a baby.
something I never did was make friends, because I felt like, oh, I have my husband, like, I just have to take care of him and take care of my kids all day. But friends are pretty a necessity for you mentally. I feel like, to be able to share passions in different areas that you don't with your spouse and things like that. So,
Yeah.
because I can't talk to Kelson about makeup.
Exactly. And with you, like, pouring into so many things, like your children,
Oh my
your
goodness.
community, your service. That's just a lot of people. But how important do you find or feel it is to find a bucket that can pour into you, because you can get drained,
That was my biggest, I think, problem, and why I ended up having such a downhill spiral, because when I was doing my business all the time and super on it, you know, there were so many people coming to me asking for help, and I'm always like, yes, I can help you. Yeah, like I can, you know, do this and that, and I don't know how to say no, and that really ended up making me feel like I wasn't adequate, like, oh, I'm not able to help people anymore. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a lot better.
Where have you, or who did you say that you are talking to, like a therapist? Is that what you
I
said?
was, but after
Oh, you were.
COVID
Okay.
started, I haven't talked to her in a while, so I kind of replaced her with my friends.
Oh, that's right, your friends. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
So no, it's all good.
And that porn can be from anywhere, you know, from
Yeah.
any aspect of life. Oh my dear. Oh.
Oh,
Goodness.
Gracie.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we noticed designs in the back. What do we got going on back there? I know one of them
Oh,
is, I think, something you did.
with the rodeo.
Yeah, I remember that, but I didn't
Yeah.
see the teal one. I saw the black one.
Oh, that one?
No,
This
no,
one?
I saw the rodeo in the black shirt. But tell us about the rodeo, because the rodeo was a pretty good one.
Oh, okay, yeah. The rodeo was like literally our last event that we did before all this
Yeah.
COVID
I'll hold it up
stuff.
to the screen real quick so everybody can see it too.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, that was such a fun event. And this was our best event that we did. Like, I was amazed at
Yeah,
how
look at
well we
that.
did at this
Wow.
event.
So what do we got? We got monsteras in there. We got a horse.
Kahlo, actually. So that's the same
Okay.
Kahlo from my logo. We
Okay.
got a horse. And
Got a
so
horse.
it says, whatever you do, do with all your heart, riding for the Lord and not for men.
Nice.
Amen.
Yeah,
Wow,
we want to
I
get our
love
boys
it.
into rodeo when all of this blows over. Because I guess my husband's family is like a cowboy family. Like, they did a lot of ranch stuff where he's from. So, I mean, it's in their blood. We'll see.
So how did you guys link in with the rodeo? Was it because of your husband?
No, I just felt like it, actually. I
Sweet.
see craft fairs and I tell my husband, oh, hey, let's go do that. And then he kind of is like, are you serious? He's such a good sport though. Like, I have so much that I want to do that I get distracted really easily. So that's something that kind of, you know, he's always like, you know, pick something that you want to do. You have too many passions, pick one. And I'm like, no, we can do it all. What you
We
mean?
can do it all.
I like that.
I was like, if God doesn't want me to do it, it'll stop.
Very nice. And then we said the black one. The black one is the primary. Is the
OG.
very first.
Yeah, our OG. I actually have changed my logo since then. I made it asymmetric on both sides.
Okay.
And I cleaned it up a bunch, but
Bring that up over here so everybody can see it too.
You literally look like you're at a store.
Like, she does have a story.
so we have this one. This
Okay.
is the old one. And that's the front.
That's the one
Ooh,
that we
that's the
have.
one- Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also have our United with Christ design.
Wow.
I really love this one because it's like shouting loud and proud, you know, that we're united with Christ.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this one I printed this morning.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
'cause I was like, I don't have any Pomaika I Au clothes to wear, so I'm gonna go finish this one.
Nice.
So I
love the
painted
pink.
it this morning.
Oh,
And then
very
the
nice.
little logo in the back. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, walk us
Oh.
through your logo as a graphic designer. How did you come up with your logo?
With my logo, it literally started from that one that I did in high school for my church. So with that recreating of that. So my logo, the reason why it has Kalo is, I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the Hawaiian legend of Haloa and Haloa Naka. So Haloa was the stillborn of Wakea and Papahanaumoku or something like that. And so from then on, they took that stillborn and they planted him into the ground. And from that came the kalo plant, which is what sustained, you know, the Hawaiians and Polynesians for thousands of years. And then Haloanaka was the brother that was born afterwards and that was named after him. And so his older brother, Haloa, had been the one to feed and sustain him as he lived, you know. And with Christ in the middle, what I like to represent and what I tell people is like, you know, they say that Jesus is the bread of life, right? But here in Hawaii, you know, like our starch is kalo. And so every time I go like, oh yeah, Jesus is the kalo of life. You know, he is what sustains us. And because kalo is what sustained the Polynesians for thousands of years. So that's kind of like the backstory on why I felt like that story goes hand in hand, because I felt like God was that sacrifice. Jesus was that sacrifice that was put, his blood went into the ground to, you know, cleanse us of our sins and to sustain us for the rest of our lives. And so that's kind of the meaning behind the kalo cross that I have as my logo.
Oh,
it's just
wow.
like a reminder
I
to
didn't
always
know
stay
that.
blessed. Yeah.
Do
A
you
lot of
have a
people don't know
T-shirt
that
that
either.
says Jesus is the kalo of life?
I know, I should make something like that.
Do
Yeah, should write that
it!
down.
Oh my
Take it out.
gosh. Oh, I should. I think I'm gonna do that.
Hold on,
with
I'm gonna use that as our final thought of the day. Jesus is the kalo of life. I got you. I'll tag you.
Yes. Okay, great.
OMG. Creating during the live.
There we go. That's how
Oh
we
my
start
gosh,
stuff.
how exciting. No, yeah, I'm
This is
excited.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
hard
you know-
for me because I don't ever know what to design. So that's like another thing that really drives me crazy is I sit here with all of these limitless possibilities in my brain and I don't have anybody to talk and conversate with, like what is the best idea out of all of the thousands of ideas running through my brain, you know?
Oh, hey, I got an idea. Okay, so you have all these ideas, but you have nobody to talk to about, yeah? And
Yeah.
we so happen to be looking for property on the Big Island because we might buy on the Big Island and start something over there. So why don't we just come over for a week and then you can talk story with Leah and you can draft stuff out while I cruise around the island and try and look for something, and then you can tell me what areas to avoid. Not to buy.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun actually. I've been telling Kelsey we have to get ready for you guys.
Done, and done.
Yes. Okay, and then, so check this out. I haven't released this yet, but it says Sweet Anella. I posted it like a few weeks ago, but I never really finished it. It's gonna be printed in gold, like a metallic gold.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little bit of insight behind this design is growing up in the canoe culture, I had two aunties named Anella. So one was my paddling coach, and then the other one was my like navigation. She was just like my friend but she was like a lot older. I just kind of would hang out with her, but she would teach me like navigation. We'd go on like star talks and things like that. So I had decided to use like, cause I've been super into gold jewelry lately. So using that whole like gold jewelry to give praise to God and adorn him in gold. And then the Sweet Anella is kind of after those two people in my life who were kind of very prominent. They kind of made me who I am today and made me kind of this mana wahine that I feel like I'm becoming because of them. So yeah, like I'm pretty excited. Like I haven't designed something new for Pomaika I Au in a while. So this design is, you know, like something for me to look forward to printing. I haven't been able to print much. Like I keep telling you guys like I'm finishing my office or whatever, but most of the time I'm like yelling at the kids to clean up or something.
Yeah,
that's okay. Mom life.
Mom life.
I know. We'll get there. My website will be up when it's up. That's what I keep telling myself.
What advice do you have to anybody that wants to start a clothing business, especially to those moms who have kids that want to start a clothing business? That seems very tough.
Oh my gosh, I know. Sometimes when I tell my friends that I see that are doing like those MLM businesses where they're gonna stay home and stuff, like I tell them, I was like, don't worry, sis. It's gonna be hard, but you'll get through it. But it's like way harder than staying home or going to work. It's way harder. So not to scare anybody, but owning your own business actually is way harder than going to work because it doesn't turn off. Like, yes, you get to choose what you do throughout the day, but your mind doesn't stop spinning thinking about all of the 1,001 things that you have to do for your business.
Sure.
But it is extremely rewarding. I'll be honest. The fact that I did get to see all of my kids' milestones. I got to see them walk and talk. I got to teach them everything that they know, read them books, you know. that I can never replace. All of this hard work, all of this crying was worth being able to do it with them. And the hope that I have, seeing me doing this is going to help them in the long run to become entrepreneurs. And I feel like teaching your children how to become an entrepreneur is such like an important skill in today's society that they would just benefit watching you grow up. Like I have family in Maui who have a brand called Solid, and watching them is what really inspired me growing up, because I was like, my cousins would always be at the craft fairs at like the Maui County Fair and all their first varieties, and I watched my auntie and uncle raise their kids around the business and watch those kids turn into these wonderful, talented, amazing, young adults. And so I want that for my family, to be able to teach them and to start your own business. Literally what it is you find your passion. There's so many different niches. So like for me, I chose Hawaiian Christian clothing. Like you could go plus size, you could do baby clothing. Like there's so many different niches that you could pick from, like baby clothing island style, or like baby clothing Cali style, surfing style. Like just find what you're most passionate about, like what Jared had said during his interview, and literally roll with it, because there's nothing more satisfying than you making money doing something that you love and you don't feel like you're working. Like at the end of the day, I don't even know how much I worked, because everything that I was doing, it was fun. Like I was designing, like that's a passion of mine, not a big deal. That's not like work, like I was printing. Oh, not a big deal. I love the outcome of what comes out of printing, like find what you're good at and learn how to not like monetize it per se, like just to make money, but learn how to serve people and not give it away for free. Because for a really long time, I was cutting myself short, serving people and doing all of this stuff, but mostly for free, because I felt like I was serving, or because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I was just getting started. Like set your price and roll with it, because there are people out there that are going to want to support you, is basically what it is. And don't give up. There's so many times that I almost gave up on this business, but in the long run, like I'm like, wow, look at how much, like I finally have been going around town, because now I finally started a part-time job. I went back to my old job. So I've been driving around and like, oh my God, look, it's my sticker. Or like I'll go to work and my friends, my coworkers are wearing my shirt. I'm like, oh my gosh. Or like I'll drop Kelson off at work and all his coworkers are wearing my clothes. I'm like, wow. Or I'll get messages from people, of like, there's this one truck of my coworker with a big Pomaika I Au sticker and like a pink opal. So it's like super out there. Like people notice it. So like when I get messages like that, I'm just like, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Like people are starting to, know who I am and know who God is through my business. And that's just something that I think is so powerful to be able to do from home. Like I started with my computer and a desk, and look at this, you guys. I have a whole room that I'm going to be dedicating to this.
Wow.
Is that the one that you guys painted white?
Yeah. So we're going to paint the whole house white eventually, but this is the one we got started in, because I felt like it would make a big difference in my product photos and just kind of selling in general. So that's something I wanted to announce is I'm going to be doing my first like online craft fair pop-up thing for myself. Yeah, so like I'm going to set it up in here like it's a booth, and I'm going to do a live and be like, hey guys, who wants this? Yeah. Like, and I'm pretty pumped up, because that's not something I've seen anybody else really do yet. Like I've seen online craft fairs, but it's kind of like videos where they're kind of just showing some products. But this is going to be like something where I want people to be like interacting with me, kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen like those paparazzi jewelry lives on Facebook, or where people are just sitting there and selling their LuLaRoe and clothes and stuff. Like I can do that. I can sit here and sell you guys from my right?
So when are you gonna do it?
What day?
I don't know yet. Whenever he finishes the closet. That's
Okay.
why I'm kind of waiting.
So what are we talking like a week? Are we talking 2 weeks? Are we talking a month? Are we talking December?
I think in August.
August.
Sometime in August. Yeah.
Next
So
month.
we're pretty close to being done. We just bought some more stuff to finish the floor yesterday, and then I just have to buy the pegboards and have him install it, and then get some
Yeah.
fixtures. But we should be good to go next month, hopefully.
Nice.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, we'll be on the lookout.
So that's a good
I know.
short-term goal. So short-term goal, you guys are gonna do your craft
Yes.
in August. What's the long-term goal you guys got?
Yes. My long-term goal, I have a lot of long-term goals.
What's your number one long-term goal? What's the one that's like
tippy-toppy
racking?
of the list?
So like our number one long-term goal is to move to Hawaii. Like it's going to happen. It's going to
I
happen.
cannot wait to have you
That
guys.
might even be a
close.
short-term goal, depending on how this market works. If I can flip the house, it might even be short-term. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So
Oh my God,
what's
so cool.
what's your number one long-term goal?
My number one long-term goal is that I'm going to have like a big property where I can have like a small marketplace type of a thing, or have my own building where I'm gonna have Pomaika I Au and cafe, and then my design agency, and the cafe would be in the middle, because I want to have like a place of fellowship where people can come together, and then all of my interns and my designers will have a place to meet with their clients, and then we would have like our Pomaika I Au gift shop where, you know, also, you know, we would probably bring in other people's things as well, like maybe like how I'm going to create a wall in my office. Like I was thinking maybe creating walls for different brands and stuff. Like, you know, other people have been doing that, but like it would be my own. But, and then I kind of want to have it where it's, the cafe is going to have like a deck, and there's going to be a garden. So I wanted to start doing my clothes, like dyeing my clothes with Hawaiian plants. So like I bought the Hawaiian dye plant book. And so that's something that's on my short-term goals, is to start using Hawaiian dyes, so that my long-term goal would be I would create a whole dye garden where my employees would go and harvest and prepare, and then go in, you know, to wherever our print warehouse is that would be on the property. And, you know, I really want to be able to have like a made in Hawaii printing facility type of a thing in the long run. So yeah, that's kind of my big crazy goal that I always look at myself and I'm like, are you crazy, or is this of God? Like, is God gonna help you get there?
I mean, I don't think it's crazy, because when you're describing what you want, it's very similar to what we want. So we want a big property where we can open. It's gonna be a compound, right? So we have our living dwelling unit, and then we'll have a cafe too that people can come and fellowship. I'm telling you, it's the same thing, right? It's kind of like Made in Hope in Maui.
Yeah,
kind of like
exactly. But they don't have anything like
Or
that
like
here.
John and Jared are, yeah. So same thing,
Yeah.
except we don't have a design company. We don't. That's not what we do. So we're thinking, well, what could we do? And we were looking at all the properties there, and they have these big homes, these big plantation homes. So we're thinking, okay, a lot of people go on retreats in California to go on whatever retreat they want to go on. Why don't we retrofit the house so that we can host like 10 people, or we can host people, and then they can do a retreat. So they can do
cool.
devos in the morning, and then they can go surf, or they can go hike, and then we have.
And that would be really great for local churches to have a facility like that.
Oh, yeah,
because
for sure.
over here we don't have any nice facilities that churches can go do things like that in.
Yeah. So
Really like old fashioned, so that's why.
we'll talk to you about that. Maybe our long-term goals can collide. It'll be a short-term goal, and it can happen.
I know.
Really
I hope so.
See?
That would be so much fun.
Woo, that would be
Yeah.
I'm
Is
awesome.
there,
excited. You guys got me all excited. I'm so
Yeah,
glad we're
you should be
talking.
excited. We're gonna get the ball rolling. Is there anything? So everything in the back, right? So you had a couple T-shirts and merchandise and stuff. Is there anything you want to highlight? Because I think we have like 5 minutes left before they kick us off this whole thing. So if there's anything you want to show people or tell people, drive them to. Is that an envelope? What is that, like a manila?
I have my stickers that are really cool.
Oh, I love your stickers.
I know.
Yes,
I started
I love
doing specialty kind too. So these are like glitter.
Whoa.
See it, but
Nice nails too.
Okay.
thank you. I did them myself, but see, this is glitter.
What?
Oh yeah, those are glitter.
Wow, those are so
Nice.
cool, sparkly.
You get them on the website, yeah?
My website is currently not working.
So how are we gonna get stickers? We're gonna DM you.
I know. Yeah, DM me
Okay.
for now.
No
I keep
problem.
telling everybody, oh, my website's gonna be up soon, but like, okay, so here's the thing. So everybody that watches this, that I keep telling you guys, oh yeah, my website's gonna be up. The reason is because I'm too much of a perfectionist, and literally every single time I design a website, I do it on a new platform so that I don't even know how to do it all over again, and then I have to reteach myself. So the last year, I think I've retaught myself 5 different platforms, and I never finished the website.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that is why. It's because I'm extravagant, and I'm like, I'm a web designer. Like, you know, I
Okay,
have all
I got
these
you.
bells and whistles.
This is what we're gonna do. Okay, short-term goal: paint the room so you can craft.
Yes.
Do your website. Long-term goal: build the facility, and then we'll come over and we'll talk about it too. But I think we're gonna come over either by the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So just whenever you guys
well, your bed's already here.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask. Whenever you guys are ready.
Whenever you're free.
Yeah, we're gonna cruise over. We're gonna cruise over for a while.
Yeah.
So probably like.
Well, you guys can come whether it's painted or not, because I literally have a bed made for you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So sweet.
Of course.
Well, I know they're gonna kick us off this. If there's any other questions, comments that you guys have, you can DM our cousin and look out for her website, which is gonna launch very soon.
Yes, very soon, because I'm getting over my perfectionism issue, and I just need to get something up right.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for dropping in. You want to say
you
bye
guys.
to Gracie?
Thank you so much for having us. Oh, there's Gracie. I wanted to see her.
Say bye to Auntie Leilani.
She's a little sleepy.
Auntie, can't wait to meet you.
Time for her bedtime.
Yeah, dude, very soon.
I know. Oh my gosh, I had to force the boys into their nap before this because I was gonna let them be a part of this, and it was not happening.
I was working on that.
Well,
But
yeah,
it didn't happen for me.
That was the whole thing that was going on there. Yeah. Okay, we look forward to your live and the whole crafting thing, so keep us updated, and then we'll make sure that we get people to tune in on that too. And we'll see you soon, cuz.
All right.
I love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. It was so nice to see you and talk story.
It was so wonderful to see you.
Yeah, see you guys. Woo.
Yeah, KHO and Shaka's shoots.
It's